This is part 2 of addition rules for probability. So in the last video we saw addition rule number 1. In this video we are going to see addition rule number 2. So addition rule number 2 is for when two events are not mutually exclusive. And so that's right here in the intersection. A and B share 5 elements. So they're not mutually exclusive. So in order to calculate the probability of A or B, we have to account for the fact that these 5 are in A. So the 21 and the 5 are both in A, and the 19 and the 5 are both in B. So the 5 is counted in both of them. But before we get started with the probabilities involved, we want to know what the total number of outcomes are. So the total number of outcomes is going to be 6. Oops. Actually, I wanted this example to be 5. So it's going to be 5. All right, so I guess I wanted it to be a nice even number. So 5 plus 21 plus 5 plus 19. All right, so even though the 5 in the middle is in both, we only count it once because each element is its own thing once. It counts in A and it counts in B, but each thing only exists once. All right, so the total number of outcomes in this universe is 50. All right, so now to calculate the probability of A, that's just the 21 plus 5 out of 50, so that's 26 out of 50. And then to calculate the probability of B, that is the 19 plus 5 out of 50 equals 24 out of 50. So if we just look at, if we try to use the last formula, the probability of A or B, and if we just say, okay, the probability of A, which is 26 out of 50, plus the probability of B, which is 24 out of 50. So when we add those up, we get 26 plus 24 out of 50 equals 50 out of 50 equals 1 equals 100%, right? But that's just the probability of A and the probability of B. We still have this out here, so it can't be 100%. These two together cannot be 100% because there's 5 outside of them. So this is not equal. This formula doesn't work here. And the reason why it doesn't work is because the 5 was double counted. So we counted it in A, this green 5, right? The green 5 was double counted in A and in B. All right, so when we use the formula, though, the formula gives me the correct answer. So the probability of A or B equals the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of both A and B. And so we have 26 out of 50 plus 24 out of 50 minus 5 out of 50. So the 5 is actually, and I'll do it in green so we can connect it to this one right here. We're subtracting the intersection P and B, and that's 5 out of 50. So in the end, that gives us 45 out of 50. And we can check our answer here. You can't always check your answer, but in this one, we could just do it by counting, right? So the probability of being A or B is just all of these numbers. So that would be 21 plus 5 plus 19 out of 50, which is 45 out of 50. But you can't always see all the numbers like this. So sometimes you have to use addition rule number 2 because you can't just count everything. Not everything is given to you, or it's not given to you in a way that you can put it together for this yellow method. So can't always do this way. Can't always do this way. Okay, and then I have some other examples in another video.